Hey foodies, lately I've been getting a lot of positive feedback on my Jamaican style baked chicken video. Most of you love it for Sunday dinner, and I wanted to share this one with you too because I know you'll love it for Sunday dinner, any dinner. Okay? This is pineapple glazed roasted chicken. Let's get started. I'm using a whole chicken, guys. You could use chicken parts if you want to, alright? But I'm using the whole chicken and I removed the backbone and I loosened the skin because I want to get some seasoning underneath that skin to make it more flavorful. So for the seasoning, I used a combination of things. I used some cinnamon, black pepper, ground allspice, and paprika. I also added some all-purpose seasoning. You could do chicken seasoning if you want to, and add salt if you're using a chicken or all-purpose seasoning that is very low in sodium. All right, just mix all of that together. And for roasting the chicken, I'm using my baking tray. It has foil wrap and the parchment paper. You can use either of the two if you prefer. I'm going to be seasoning the chicken and then I'm going to just wrap it and put it in the fridge to, marinate for a few hours. But if you don't have the space in your fridge, then you can put it in a bowl and then transfer it to the baking tray later. So I start off with green seasoning on the underside of the chicken. And in the green seasoning, it's, garlic, parsley, scotch bonnet, onion, scallion, thyme. After I rub that in, then I add the mixture of dry seasonings. And if you're not familiar with the green seasoning, there is a recipe on the channel. It's just a really nice blend of fresh ingredients. So massage that into the chicken on the underside. Then you'll flip this over and do the same thing on the other side. Season it well, except I don't put a lot of green seasoning on the skin. I focus on putting most of that green seasoning under the skin. So the same green seasoning, the rest of it is going underneath the skin. And this has some scotch bonnet in there, so it's going to make this really flavorful, really nice with a little bit of heat. If you have green seasoning in your fridge already without scotch bonnet, then you can just add some minced scotch bonnet. So just loosen the skin and push the green seasoning in there. If you want to take another step, you can always mix the green seasoning with soft butter and put it underneath the chicken skin. Then on top, I'm going to put that mixture of seasonings, and underneath the skin, you're going to add those seasonings as well. So it's well seasoned. Then I just tuck the wingtip behind here. It just helps to prevent it from burning too much once I'm ready to roast this. So this is going to go in the fridge and it's going to soak up all of that seasoning. As I said, if you don't have space, put it in a bowl instead. All right. If you are too busy to marinate the chicken, then you're going to move on to the next step, which is roasting it. You're going to roast it in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. While the chicken's in the oven, you can do the glaze. So I have a little oil in the pot and I'm going to be sauteing some minced garlic and minced ginger. You want to do that until they are golden. Then we'll be adding some pineapple juice. Then vinegar, some soy sauce. This is brown sugar and mixed spice. Go ahead and simmer this over medium heat until it reduces and the flavor gets a little more concentrated. It's not going to be very syrupy because I didn't put a lot of sugar in there. Once it gets to that consistency and color, you could add a slurry if you want to. So just whisk in a mixture of cornstarch and room temperature water in there. I did about 2 teaspoons of cornstarch mixed with 2 teaspoons of water because I didn't think it was thick enough. So I did add that last minute. Okay. So the chicken was roasting at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. Just take it out of the oven and brush on that glaze. Then you're going to put it back in the oven for 10 minutes. Then remove it and brush it again and do another 10 minutes. Or you could turn on the broiler to get it a little stickier. So this is after that first glaze. You'll see some of the sugar start to caramelize and burn a bit. You can pour some hot water in the bottom of the tray if you feel like it's drying out too quickly. Just pour a little hot water in there. And you're going to do your second glaze, put it back in the oven for about 10 minutes, or just turn on your broiler to get the sauce sticky and, sticking to the chicken. So one last time, we bake the chicken for 40 minutes. Then you take it out, brush on your glaze, put it back in that same oven, 10 minutes. Take it out, brush on that glaze, put it back in the oven again for 10 more minutes, or you can turn on the broiler just to get that glaze to stick to the chicken. After all of that, you're going to get this gorgeous pineapple glazed chicken. It is looking so good and it tasted really great. Remember, if you don't want to do a whole chicken, you could do thighs, you could do leg quarters. It's really up to you. But either way, you're going to love every bit of this. You could have this with so many side dishes, mashed potatoes, quinoa, green beans. I had it with Jamaican rice and peas. That's what I felt for, and it worked perfectly well with it. Please remember to check out the description box, guys, because I'm going to be leaving the list of ingredients. That way you can do your grocery shopping and try this out. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.